Francis Del Masco was a pupil at the school of Don Bosco in Turin. He decided to leave because he didn't like the food. His mother came to take him home, but before going, he wanted to make his last confession to Don Bosco. While he was waiting in the queue for the confession, a helper from the kitchen came along and whispered to Don Bosco, "There's no bread in the house." So Francis decided he would wait and see what was going to happen. He positioned himself at the door of the church because it was a custom for Don Bosco to give out a roll of bread every morning to his children, and there were about 400 of them. So Francis positioned himself at the door of the church, and he looked into the bread basket and he only counted about 20 rolls of bread. So he waited there. Don Bosco came, and Francis watched his every move as he took the basket and began to distribute the rolls of bread. To each boy who came along, Don Bosco gave a roll of bread, to all 400 of them. And when the distribution was over, Francis again looked into the basket, and it still had about 20 rolls. He was dumbfounded. He ran to his mother, and she said, "Let's go home, Francis." But Francis said, "Sorry, Mother, I've changed my mind. I'm staying." And he told her what he had seen. "I can't leave this place. It is blessed by God. Don Bosco is a holy man." Francis stayed, and he became a Salesian. The gospel scene of the multiplication of the loaves had taken place before his very eyes. If he was astonished at seeing such a miracle, we can imagine the astonishment of a crowd of 5,000 when Jesus fed them with 5 small loaves and 2 fish. So astonished were they that they wanted to make him king, a bread king. Food is the first necessity of life, and to feed the hungry is the first great corporal work of mercy. At the end of life, Jesus will say, "I was hungry, and you gave me food," or "I was hungry, and you did not give me food." Jesus multiplied food. He fed the multitudes. He satisfied their hunger for bread by working an extraordinary miracle. But that miracle prefigured a greater miracle, a greater hunger, the hunger for spiritual food, the Eucharist. That above all is the food we must long for. In 1967, after an almost endless journey, a man aged 73 who had escaped from Siberia arrived in a refugee camp in Western Europe. He went straight to the church, and after an hour and a half of prayer, he said to the chaplain, "Father, for 20 years I've not been able to attend Mass or receive Holy Communion. I never saw a priest, and do you think I could now go to confession and Holy Communion? I've been fasting since midnight, although I'm very hungry, because I was looking forward most of all to Holy Communion. In Russia, I prayed a great deal every day, but I missed Holy Communion more than anything else." This man missed the Eucharist, the bread of life that nourishes us, so that we in turn may nourish others. Jesus had been generous with us, totally generous. Let us be generous with him. And one of the fruits of generosity is joy. You'll never meet a generous person who is sad, and you'll never meet a miser who is happy.